Now, when you try this, humor me. Go ahead and make whatever you put in these squares on these artboards, make them a symbol. Like I said, humor me. Then I'm going to come back to the swatches panel. And I've already got these patterns laid out here, but I'm going to make them again. And it doesn't hurt anything. I'm just going to grab this symbol, drag it over here, and it makes a pattern. And when I click here, now watch how it remakes this pattern. Pro tip, it's not going to remake this pattern. It's going to make graph paper. And graph paper is made up of that little plus sign, repeated again and again and again and again and again. That's how easy that is. You ever wanted graph paper? And think about it. You want more distance between the lines? You know, let's say you want rectangles here rather than squares. What if you made one of these lines longer? Think about that. Okay, so how do I get from here to here? Well, pretty simple. Let's go back to our graph paper. So we see that there's nothing up my sleeve. And once again, select this symbol. See, it's a symbol. And then I'm going to go Object. I really should get my glasses here. I cannot see where it is. There it is. Pattern, Make. And there's our graph paper. Well, we're going to leave it on grid, but the width and height, let's change this. And I'm just going to pick a number. I did experiment. So 120 by 120. This is moving these away from each other 120 pixels. And when you click Done, we have a new tile right here. And when we click on this rectangle and click on this new tile, voila. Now, let's make one more. Because what if you don't want them to line up? What if you want them staggered a little bit? Well, let's learn one more thing about this. Object, Pattern, Make. I got to get you guys to make these shortcuts so we all can skip that menu. And then instead of grid, I'm going to go brick by row. And look what happens. And that's kind of boring. But once again, we're just going to use those same numbers. And are these numbers magic? No. It just puts some amount of space. You can change these up. Experiment with that distance. And yes, 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 there are more things to discover inside this panel that we'll talk about in the future. But for right now, I'm going to click Done. And then when I click here, I have this staggered. And it's not presented correctly. I need to shift things in order to present this. And that's the first step. Now let's get to this dot because I not only want to show you something similar, I want to show you something more.